Hello. Happy day after Valentine's. I hope you all had an amazing day celebrating love of yourself and of everybody else in your life. And I hope you didn't go crazy overboard and feel guilty. That was part of what I posted yesterday was just to let it go. If you did something that you're not happy about, it's gone, it's done, it's over with, move on. So today it kind of brings me around to talking about rewards and cheats and treat meals, or however you want to look at it. I'm sure we've had some discussions on this before. I'm going to talk about sugar a little bit with this because a lot of times that's where we get a lot of our excess sugar. So I personally, I do not like to ever think of any meal or day as a cheat day or a treat day because it kind of sets the wrong mindset around food. Your food should not be a cheat. I mean, you're not. Who are you cheating on? You're not. Are you cheating on yourself by eating a meal that you shouldn't be eating? Um, because really, that's what it boils down to. If you're always having a cheat meal or a cheat day, or I'm having a treat meal or day because I worked really hard, is that really how you want to reward what you've done by taking steps backward? Our goal here is to eat healthy. At least, I mean, for me, I assume most people, your goal is to eat healthy so that you feel good and you live longer and you can do more and all of the things that come from that healthy lifestyle. And if you're constantly taking 5 steps forward and then two or three back because you've had a cheat day or a treat day, I mean, what are you really accomplishing? You're not really getting very far forward because you're always pulling yourself back each time. And it's part of that kind of diet mentality, I think, is that, you feel like you're so restricted in your diet that every now and then you just gotta treat yourself. And that's not really where we want to be. Yes, there are treats. There are things that, you once in a while you might have something because it's a sweet that you like, it's a special meal that you like somewhere, or it's something that your mom always made for you when you were a kid, and it's a once in a while, maybe once or twice a year you have something like that. But if you're doing this every week, you have a cheat day every week, or every week you have a cheat meal, you're not really following a good lifestyle plan. Now, that doesn't mean that you can never go out and have the things that you love. I had, which I should post a picture in here because it was delicious. I had chicken parm with pasta and green beans last night, and it was phenomenal, way better than any restaurant I have ever had. Um, Pat myself on the back, but it was healthy. It was good quality chicken. It was a gluten-free homemade breading on it, so it was almond flour and coconut flour. It was a pasta sauce that has no added sugars, no added extra anything. It's tomatoes and seasoning, and then I had a goat, yeah, goat's milk mozzarella, and it was just a little tiny bit on top, just kind of on top of the sauce that on the piece of chicken, and it was air fried. So there was no excess oils and all of that. It wasn't deep fried. It wasn't pan fried. It was air fried. So that made it a little bit healthier. It was very juicy and tender. Um, and then the pasta was a cassava-based pasta. So again, it was gluten-free, and my portion size was a normal human being's portion size. It was not what you would get at the restaurant. And the green beans, I've discovered I really love a roasted green bean with a little olive oil and balsamic. So it was a great little balance of flavors. And like I said, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I was quite proud of myself. And for me, that's kind of like a treat. It was something I don't make very often. One, because I don't do dairy. Goat's milk I can tolerate a little bit of, but I don't have dairy very often. I don't bread or meat very often, but when I do, it is gluten-free, homemade. It's not any kind of store-bought processed stuff that I'm using, and I don't deep fry. So, I still got all of the yummy goodness of that, really heavy, unhealthy meal that I might have gotten in an Italian restaurant back in the day. I got all of that in a healthy portion, and just the right amount of food for me, just the right kind of ingredients. I knew what everything was. It was awesome. So you can have the meals that you love without having it unhealthy. You can have pizza. Jason went over a whole thing about pizza. You can have a pizza and still be healthy. You can have a burger and still be healthy. You can have fries. You can make them yourself. There's not many things, I'm not going to say pretty, there's not many things out there that you can't make a healthier version of that suits your lifestyle. And that's what this is. It's a lifestyle, it's not a diet. So we don't cheat on our lifestyle. We have a lifestyle that includes some variations. We're going to swerve around a little bit on our normal meal, but we're not taking a left or right hand turn and just going hog wild for the next 5 miles. No, you're going to take a slight little veer and then jump right back in because it's a nice little treat. It's a little extra something, just like, with alcohol. I'm not a big alcohol person, and but I do occasionally like to have a glass of wine. So I might have a glass of wine. That's a little veer off of my path because it's not it's not a staple in my diet, but it's a little treat for me to have to have a glass of wine with this particular meal or in celebration of whatever this is. So I want you to stop thinking about a full day of cheating or treating yourself. One, that's going a little too far. And two, don't get in your head that you're doing something bad because that's kind of where it goes. It's a bad thing. I'm not supposed to. Cheating is bad. We don't cheat on our spouses, right? That's bad. We don't want to do that. We don't cheat on our tests because that's bad. So when you talk about having a cheat meal, you're associating it mentally with something bad that you shouldn't be doing, and it starts that cycle of, well, I did it bad. Well, I've already ruined the day because I did this, so now I might as well just enjoy this, and I might as well do this, and all of a sudden that one cheat meal becomes an entire week of spiraling out of control. No, no, maybe not all of you, maybe not all of you, but a lot of people, that is the diet mentality. That's what happens. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to a good many of you at some point in your life. That's what we're trying to avoid. So we're working towards a healthy lifestyle where you make the good choices the majority of the time, and you occasionally have that special thing and you treat it as a special thing, or you find a way to have it healthier so that you can have it more regularly. Now, the other side of this is when we come to, and this was a conversation I had with another nutritionist today, is the idea of rewards. And as you know, I have 3 kids. I was brought up every holiday, every celebration, every time you did something good, your reward was some kind of treat. It was something food based. It was usually something sugary based. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have seen parents, as the reward for winning the game, for doing good in practice, is to like run through McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. And I mean, what are you doing to your children by teaching them that? And I say this as someone who has done that, who still struggles to not do that. It is a mentality that we've had ingrained in us. My parents, that was how we were. They from the South. We had lots of deep fried stuff. We had lots of biscuits and gravies. I mean, we had all the things. There was always desserts around, and when it was a birthday, it was all kinds of desserts and cakes, and holidays was all about the treats and the sweets that we made. And even and I've learned how now to make some of those traditional sweets from my youth in a healthier version, so it's not so bad when I eat it, but it's still not how I want to celebrate. I want to break the cycle for my kids so that when they're adults and they have their own children, the first thing that comes to mind is not, let me give you candy because you've behaved, or let me give you, you know, burgers and fries from a fast food restaurant because we're out and you did really good at the game. Like, I want them to think of the healthy things. I want celebrations to be about the people that they're with and the time that they're spending together and the things that they get to do versus what kind of food and treats and sweets can I give you. So it really starts with us. Whether you have kids or not, it starts with you, and it starts with you kind of sharing that with other people around you, with your family and friends, that that look to you, and they, as you're on this journey and you're doing all the right things, they're paying attention whether you know it or not, and they see what you do. And when you don't celebrate every little thing with alcohol or food, and it becomes more about the community and the time spent with somebody, it starts to break that cycle. So I want you to think about, even for yourself, just start with yourself. Don't reward yourself with food or alcohol. We talked about this a little bit in our January seminar, and if you weren't there, you missed out, and you should have been. And make sure you get to the next seminar when it comes out. Don't reward yourself with food. If you, you set a goal for yourself. Say you set a goal to go for a walk every day for 10 minutes. When you achieve that goal, don't go out and get yourself a treat meal or a sugary coffee, or have a drink with somebody because you did really good walking for 10 minutes. That's not how we want to be. You want to reward yourself with something that's useful, something that's good for the mind and the body. So, maybe you go out and you get a massage, you go out and you get a new pair of shoes so that it's even more comfortable for your walk. You go buy a new outfit because, you've lost a little bit of weight. These are the kind of things that you want to reward yourself with. And these are the kind of things that, for those of you with children, or grandchildren, you want to try to reward them with. It's not, don't get them in that bad cycle of food rewards and food addictions, because that's where it leads. And the last thing I'm going to say here, because I know I will talk forever if you guys let me, is the sugar. Because I feel like 9 times out of 10, our treats and rewards are some kind of sugary based thing. Even alcohols. I mean, a lot of the alcohols, sugars, especially if you get mixed drinks, sugars. If you're drinking most traditional wines, loaded with sugars. Things you're mixing your tequilas or whatever with, probably filled with sugar. And all of that does horrible things to the body. So I posted on here before about how sugar is probably what's affecting your cholesterol if you have high cholesterol. But that's one of many things. Sugar reacts, or your body reacts to the intake of sugar the same way it does drugs like cocaine. So when you put sugar in your body, or you give sugar to your children, it's just like giving them cocaine. Okay, your brain reacts to it. It messes with your hormonal releases because it signals the dopamine. So of course that sugar makes you feel really good, so you want more of it and you crave it. And the more you take it in, the more you need to get that same high. It's the same thing as taking drugs. You need more of the drug each time because your body starts to get used to it, and all of a sudden you need more and more and more to get that same high that you used to get with a tiny little bit. And that's what we're doing to ourselves, to our children, to our friends, our family, whoever it is, by loading them up on sugars and treating them with sugars for celebrations or for rewards. So again, the sugar is it's linked to a lot of problems, honestly. Cholesterol. It's linked to obesity. Too much sugar can give you fatty liver. It causes insulin resistance, which it seems like now insulin resistance is kind of the leading root cause of a lot of problems, a lot of the diseases that are killing Americans. If you think about, what diseases do most Americans die from? Well, a lot of it stems back to insulin resistance, which doesn't mean necessarily that you have diabetes. You might be pre-diabetic, but you've got that insulin resistance. You've got that roller coaster cycle of stuff happening in your body because you're not fueling it properly and you're giving it drugs like sugar. It causes inflammation, which of course, turns to pain for a lot of people. Obviously, it's linked to, the weight gain and obesity. It's very addictive, like I mentioned. It feeds cancer. It raises your cholesterol. These are all things that little bit of white sugary goodness does when you ingest it. And that goes for all sugars. Now, I'm sure Jason would love to do a talk on sugars because I know he's passionate about it. Maple syrup, honey, agave, they're all sugars. They're all sugars of some sort. So, while organic maple syrup or raw natural honey can have some good benefits to it, it's still sugar. And if you go in excess, you're right down the same path as if you were eating some um, regular old white table sugar. So let's cut the sugar. Let's cut rewarding ourselves with food. Let's break the cycle with our children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, whoever you want to throw in that pot of being rewarded with food and every celebration being about food. Let's make it about the people and the connections and get back to where our ancestors used to be with healthier eating. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Comment here, message me privately or any of the other coaches, and we would love to help you work through this journey. I'll see you next time.